Hello dear students. So in our last class we were discussing about the power, okay, and we were in the topic work, power, energy and power. So we are knowing the assignment of the power and the meaning of power, and also discussing about the commercial unit kilowatt hour. So which is a unit of the energy. Okay, today discuss about the collision and collision. Okay. ಕೊಲ್ಜನ್ ಅಂದರೆ ಏನು? ಕೊಲ್ಜನ್ ಅಂದರೆ ಒಂದು ವಸ್ತುವಿಗೆ ಮತ್ತೊಂದು ವಸ್ತು ಬಂದು ಡಿಕ್ಕಿ ಹೊಡೆಯೋದ್ರಿ, ಇದಕ್ಕೆ ಏನಂತ ಕರೀತಾರ? ಕೊಲಿಷನ್. ಸೊ ಕೊಲಿಷನ್ ಮೀನ್ಸ್, ಸೊ ಇನ್ ಫಿಸಿಕ್ಸ್, ಸೊ ವಿ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಅ ರೆಸ್ಟ್ರಿಕ್ಟೆಡ್ ಡೆಫಿನೇಷನ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಕೊಲಿಷನ್. ಸೊ ಕೊಲಿಷನ್ ಮೀನ್ಸ್ ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಅ ಇಂಟ್ರಾಕ್ಷನ್, between the two bodies. So due to which there is change in the magnitude and direction of the velocity. Okay, for example, so this body of mass m is moving with a velocity 10 meter per second, and there is an obstacle, or there is one more body called m2 which is at rest, and it come and collide this one. So as a result, there will be momentum of the first particle as well as the second particle. Okay, so its velocity changes to, so I say this is 9 meter per second, like this. So after the collision, its magnitude, which is 9, and the direction in this direction, it was here. So both the magnitude and direction of the velocity of a moving body changes. So for this interaction we call the collision. So how to define the collision? So collision is an interaction between two bodies due to which there is change in velocity. So that is both magnitude and direction. So this interaction is called the collision. Okay, in the collision there are some types. So mainly we classified it into three types. One is completely elastic collision. Okay, and second one is inelastic collision. Okay, and third one is completely inelastic collision. Okay, so these are the three types of collisions usually we observe. Okay, let us see one by one. So what it mean by completely elastic collision? So the collision in which both kinetic energy and linear momentum of the system is conserved, then we call that collision as a elastic collision. So what's elastic collision? A collision in which both kinetic energy of the system and linear momentum of system conserved is called completely elastic collision. Okay, what in by that linear momentum is conserved, linear momentum of a system. Suppose there are two bodies called m1 and m2. So this is m1 and m2. So they combinedly constituting a system, and they are moving with the particular speeds u1 and u2. So they collide with each other, and after the collision, it is m1 is moving with v1, it is m2 and moving with v2. Okay, conservation of linear momentum. So andre enaagtada, linear momentum before collision must be equal to a linear momentum after the collision. Linear momentum before collision, that must be equal to linear momentum after the collision. Okay, so how to calculate the linear momentum before collision? So linear momentum of the first body, which is moving with initial velocity u1, mass is m1, and linear momentum of second body is m2, u2. The sum of these two, it is linear momentum of a system before collision, and m1 v1 and m2 v2. These are linear momentum of the particles after the collision. If you added these two, you can say linear momentum of a system before collision, linear momentum of a system after the collision. In the same way, how to write the kinetic energy? So kinetic energy of system before collision equal to kinetic energy of system after collision. Okay, so before collision, so as per given data, so m1 u1, its kinetic energy half m1 u1 square. Okay, plus there is one more body in the system, that is m2, half m2 u2 square is equal to, so you can write 1 by 2 m1 v1 square plus 1 by 2 m2 v2 square. So after the collision, their speeds or their velocity changes to v1 and v2. So that's why half m1 v1 square, half m2 v2 square. If these two conditions are satisfied, then we call that collision as a perfectly elastic collision, or you can say completely elastic collision. Is it? Okay, what's the example? What are the examples for this one? So example for perfectly elastic collision. So actually, so we can't observe perfectly elastic collision anywhere, but we can observe some collisions which are nearly, or which can say as elastic, not perfectly. Is it? So example for that is collision of atoms, or molecules. So this collision may leads to the conservation of linear momentum, and the kinetic energy of the system before the collision is nearly equal to kinetic energy after the collision, not exactly equal. So such a cases we say it is a elastic collision. So we can't say it is a perfectly elastic. Is it? So if you want to say perfectly elastic, there must be the conservation of kinetic energy as well as conservation of linear momentum. Is it? Okay. So the next point is inelastic collision. This is about inelastic collision. Okay. So what's the inelastic collision? It is a collision in which the linear momentum of the system remains conserved, but kinetic energy is not conserved. So such collisions are called inelastic collisions. So a collision, it is a collision in which linear momentum of system conserved, linear momentum of a system is conserved, but kinetic energy of a system not conserved. Okay, then we call such a collisions as inelastic collisions. We call it as inelastic collision. So for example, if you throw a ball on a wall, what happens? It rebounces back. So the ball, it is moving with a particular velocity, okay, and hits the wall and returns. Okay, so there will be conservation of linear momentum, but not a conservation of kinetic energy. Is it? And if you observe the kinetic energy before the collision and kinetic energy after the collision, so always there will be the lesser kinetic energy after the collision. One ball you throw it is moving with the mass and moving with the speed, particular speed. Okay, so if you get its kinetic energy 1 by 2 mass of the ball into speed of the ball square, and while returning you can measure its kinetic energy. So the kinetic energy after the collision is usually lesser than the initial kinetic energy, because there will be some loss of kinetic energy during the collision. Is it? Okay, so the loss of kinetic energy occurs in case of inelastic collision, and conservation of kinetic energy occurs in perfectly elastic collision. Is it clear? Okay, what are the examples? So there are so many examples. For example, if you fire a gun, so initially that system was at rest. So the system consisting two bodies here, two particles. One is gun and one is the inner bullets. those are become a system. So after the firing, a bullet moves in one direction and gun moves in another direction. So where the linear momentum is conserved, but the kinetic energy of a system is not conserved. Okay, so these are the examples for the inelastic collision. So you should say a linear momentum is conserved, but kinetic energy is not conserved. You can write a linear momentum is conserved, equal sign, but a linear kinetic energy of a system is not conserved. Okay, so such a collision is called inelastic collision. It is inelastic collision, and there is a one more, that is perfectly inelastic. That is perfectly inelastic. So what's a perfectly inelastic collision? Number 3, perfectly, or in your NCERT book they have written it as completely elastic. Sorry, already have studied that completely elastic. Now completely inelastic collision. Completely inelastic collision. Okay, so what's a completely inelastic? We know what by elastic collision, where is a conservation of linear momentum and not a kinetic energy. Here also it obeys the same thing. Conservation of linear momentum holds good, but the conservation of kinetic energy doesn't hold good, right? And there's a one more condition. So the collision in which the bodies move like a single body, the two particles move like a single body after the collision. Okay, so if two bodies move like a single body after the collision, then we call that collision as a inelastic collision, perfectly inelastic collision, like this. So there is a body having mass m1, it was moving with a velocity u1, and the body second one m2, that was at rest. I call that u2 equal to 0. So after some time the u1 is moving towards the m2. After some time it has to collide that one m1 and m2. So after the collision they start to move with the same speed. I say this is same speed, called Vf. So both the bodies, this is at the collision. Okay, this is after the collision, and this is before collision, right? So in this case linear momentum is conserved. But kinetic energy of a system is not conserved. Okay, here also we can observe the loss of kinetic energy. Okay, so there will be loss of kinetic energy in case of inelastic and perfectly inelastic, and there is a conservation of kinetic energy in completely elastic collision. And one thing, it may be any type of collision, there must be the conservation of linear momentum. And the next point is expression for loss of kinetic energy in case of completely inelastic collision. We know the condition for complete inelastic collision. So there must be 3. One is there must be the conservation of linear momentum. There should not be conservation of kinetic energy. Okay, after the collision both the bodies move like a single body. If this condition is satisfied, then we call it as a perfectly inelastic or completely inelastic. See the situation, we are having a system of two bodies. One is having mass m1 and the other is having mass m2, and m2 is at rest. So that's why u2 is equal to 0, means its velocity is 0, means it is at rest, and m1 is moving with some speed or some velocity, that is u1. Okay, after some time it has to hit that one. So this is during the collision. After the collision both the bodies start to move like a single body with the speed Vf. And the mass of the moving system become m1 plus m2. So, I should explain the same thing. Consider two bodies of mass m1 and m2. Body of mass m1 is moving with the speed u1 and m2 is at rest. And after the collision, two bodies move like a single body of mass m1 plus m2 with the speed or with the velocity Vf. Is it? So, here we can write here only the conservation of linear momentum holds good. So that's a linear momentum of a system before collision. Linear momentum of a system before collision is equal to linear momentum of a system after collision. after collision, right? So I can write for before collision, I can write m1 u1 for a first body and 0 is for linear momentum of second body. So similarly, this is for a final after collision m1 and m2. So m1 plus m2. So it's the mass of system and it is moving with Vf. So then I can write Vf is equal to m1 u1 divided by m1 plus m2. Okay, so what I did, I took I keep that Vf as it is and I took this m1 plus m2 this side. This become m1 u1 divided by m1 plus m2. So equation number 1. What you got now is the final velocity after, or you can say velocity after the collision. Okay, so next one was the initial kinetic energy. Was the initial kinetic energy. So I can write it here. Okay, so this is m1 and this is m2, both are moving with the same speed Vf. Okay, initial kinetic energy. I want to write the loss of kinetic energy. Loss of kinetic energy is equal to, loss of kinetic energy is equal to Kf minus Ki. Was a Kf minus Ki? Kinetic energy finally, kinetic energy initially, or kinetic energy after the collision and kinetic energy of a system before the collision. Kinetic energy after the collision and this is before the collision. Okay, is it right? Wrong, because we know there is a loss of kinetic energy. Before the collision there will be more kinetic energy, after collision there will be less kinetic energy. So I can write it kinetic energy before the collision minus kinetic energy after the collision. Kinetic energy before the collision and kinetic energy after the collision, or you can write K1 minus K2. You can write it like a K1 minus K2. Is it right? Okay, so next one. So I can also write it as K initially and finally. So everything is right. I can write Ki and Kf initially, finally. So initial value, so it is 1 by 2 m1 u1 square. Okay, and its kinetic energy only 1 by 2 m u1 square. It is not having any energy here. So minus final value n by 2 1 by 2 m1 plus m2 and the speed is Vf square. Okay, the next step is 1 by 2 m1 u1 square minus 1 by 2 m1 plus m2 and Vf value here and substitute this one, that is m1 u1 divided by m1 plus m2 whole square, m1 plus m2 whole square, right. So here 1 by 2 m1 u1 square minus 1 by 2 m1 plus m2 into m1 square u1 square, square it, divided by m1 plus m2 whole square. And here there is a 1 m1 plus m2 term, this is square term. Okay, it cancel, and the remaining term is 1 by 2 m1 u1 square minus 1 by 2 m1 square u1 square m1 square u1 square divided by m1 plus m2. Okay, take the common terms outside. So I will take 1 by 2 m1 u1 square outside, and the remaining term is here, this is 1 minus this will be this is m1 square, but we took m1 only outside, u1 square u1 is outside. So that's why this is m1, and denominator term is as it is m1 plus m2. Okay, for the further simplification, this is 1 by 2 m1 u1 square, and take LCM of this square bracket. So this become m1 plus m2. So it will be the multiplication m1 plus m2 minus m1. So plus m1 minus m1 cancel, plus m1 minus m1 cancel. So the remaining term I will write it here. So 1 by 2 m1 u1 square, okay, and there is a m2 term, this is m2 term, divided by this is m1 plus m2. So I can write it as m1 m2 u1 square divided by 2 into m1 plus m2. So this become the loss of kinetic energy. I give the symbol for loss of kinetic energy as a delta k, So this become the derivation of the loss of kinetic energy delta k. So this is m1 m2 u square divided by 2 into m1 plus m2. You can note this one. The next concept is expression for final velocities of two bodies after elastic collision. Okay, in elastic collision, both kinetic energy as well as the linear momentum of the system conserved. Okay, see the explanation. Consider two bodies of mass m1 and m2, where m1 is moving with the speed u1 and m2 is at rest. After the collision, m1 gets the velocity v1 and m2 gets velocity v2. Okay, and the next point is in elastic collision, in completely elastic collision, both linear momentum and kinetic energy are conserved. Okay, so you have to write this much of explanation first. So later we can start the mathematical derivation. You can note this one. Okay, ಯಾಕಂದರೆ ಲೆಂದಿ ಆಗ್ತದೆ ಈ ಬೋರ್ಡ್ದಲ್ಲಿ ಹಿಡಿಸೋದಿಲ್ಲ. Okay, the next point here, the both linear momentum and kinetic energy are conserved. So for the linear momentum, so I can write the linear momentum before collision is m1 u1 is equal to linear momentum after the collision, that is m1 v1 plus m2 into v2. Is it? So this will show you the conservation of linear momentum, and I can write it as m1 u1 minus m1 v1 equal to m2 v2. Is it right? Okay, so now m1 into bracket u1 minus v1 equal to m2 v2. Say equation number 1. Okay, similarly I want to write the expression for conservation of kinetic energy. So this will be half m1 u1 square. So before the collision, half m1 u1 square, and after the collision, so this will be half m1 v1 square plus half m2 into v2 square. Okay, so 1 by 2 they cancel with each other. Okay, so the remaining term is m1 u1 square, and I take this side minus m1 v1 square. ಈ ಟರ್ಮನ್ನು ಈ ಕಡೆ ತಗೊಂಡ ಈಕ್ವಲ್ ಸೈನ್ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನೋಡಿದ m2 into v2 square. Okay, now I will write m1 outside. The remaining term is u1 square minus v1 square is equal to m2 v2 square. Is it? I call this equation number 2. So what is equation number 2? This one. So I can write equation 2 divided by equation 1. Equation 2 divided by equation 1. What is equation 2? This one. This is u1 square minus v1 square divided by this one is the equation 1, m1 into u1 minus v1 equal to you can write m2 v2 here square divided by m1 v2. Is it? Okay, next step I can expand it like I can expand this u1 square minus v1 square as a square minus b square. This will be a plus b into a minus b. Here I'll okay, and the m1 cancel, m2 cancel. So this will be u1 plus v1 into bracket u1 minus v1 divided by u1 minus v1. This term u1 minus v1 and is equal to there are two terms of v2, there is a single term v2. So this will be v2, and this one cancel. So here you can write u1 plus v1 is equal to v2. u1 plus v1 equal to v2. I call this equation number 3. Right? What you got now? So this is the final speed of the second particle. Okay, put in equation. I say in equation 1. So equation 1 ನಲ್ಲಿ v2 value substitute ಮಾಡ್ರಿ. Was the equation 1? Say this one. So this is m1, okay, into bracket u1 minus v1 is equal to m2 as it is, and instead of v2 I will write u1 plus v1. Instead of v2 I will write u1 plus v1 in equation number 1, and simplification m1 u1 minus m1 v1 is equal to m2 u1 m2 u1 plus m2 into v1. Okay, so take the u1 one side and v1 other side. So this become m1 u1, take this m2 this side, minus m2 u2, and here this become m1 v1, this is positive, ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಹೋದ್ಮೇಲೆ ಈ ಕಡೆ ಹೋದ್ಮೇಲೆ ಪಾಸಿಟಿವ್ ಆಯ್ತಾ, and plus m2 into v1. Okay, so take the common term outside, so m2 u1, so u1 is common here, u1 is common. Okay, and the remaining term is m1 minus m2, so m1 minus m2, and this is u1, and here this is m1 m2 and v1 is common, m1 plus m2 into v1. Okay, what I want the value for v1, so v1 is equal to m1 minus m2 into initial speed u1 divided by m1 plus m2. So this is the speed of or the velocity of the second particle after the collision. So what's our headline? The final velocities of two bodies after the collision. So how to get the value for v1 and v2? So this become our v1. Okay, so v1 is equal to m1 minus m2 into u1 divided by m1 plus m2. This is m1 plus m2, this is m1 minus m2. Numerator daga minus ada, denominator daga plus ada. Okay, and this is u1, which is the velocity of the body, number 1 before the collision. Okay, so I want to get the u1, I want to get the v1. Okay, so then we can write this equation as v2 equate madidra v1 ಗೆ equate ಮಾಡಿ ಇವಾಗ by equation number 2 we can write u1 is equal to v2 minus v1. Sorry, I should equate it for v1. This is v1 equal to v2 minus u1, so this is the next term. Okay, so substitute this value in equation 3, this one. So by the equation 3 I have written v1 equal to v2 minus u1. Okay, so put it in equation number 1 only. Okay, so what's the equation number 1? It is here m1 u1 minus, this is the v1, instead of v1 I have to write v2 minus u1. Okay, close the bracket, and this is m2 into v2, right? So next you can write it like m2 into u1, and expand this one, sorry, this is m1 as it is, u1 minus v2 plus u1 is equal to m2 v2. Now u1 and u1, so m1 as it is, this is 2u1 minus v2, u1 plus u1 2u1 and minus v2 as it is equal to m2 into v2. Next 2 into multiply m1, 2 into m1 into u1 minus m1 into v2 is equal to m2 v2. So here you got the v1 value. Now my intention is to get the v2 value. So take the v2 one side and simplify that one. So this is 2 m1 u1 is equal to m1 v2, this minus term this become plus, and as it is m2 v2. Okay, so 2 m1 u1 is equal to v2 into bracket m1 plus m2. So here v2 is common, I took it outside, and this is m1 plus m2. So that's why 2 into m1 u1 divided by m1 plus m2. So this is equation for v2. So the final velocity is v1 and v2. I got expression for v1 as a m1 minus m2 u1 divided by m1 plus m2. For the v2 it is 2 into m1 u1 divided by m1 plus m2. So here both the equations are in terms of the masses of a body and initial speed of that body. So if you know the initial speed of the first body and the masses of those two bodies, you can estimate the final velocities v1 and v2. Okay, you can note down this one. Okay, with this point, the theoretical part of this topic is completed. In our next video class, so we will solve some numerical problems. Thank you.